Here we are back on Pickwick Lake. That's right, it's time to go out, check out the offshore stuff on Pickwick. We've already looked at the Google Earth stuff. Hopefully you guys have seen that. If you missed that, make sure to go out, look at the videos that we've done, go out, look at our lake breakdown playlist. Just search for Pickwick Lake. You will find the Google Earth videos out there. And we're gonna add a few more here talking about the offshore hotspots. Tonight, we're using the Navionics mobile app. I think you guys are gonna like it. Let's roll. Here we are out here on Pickwick Lake, and I'm using the Navionics boating app. So if you're wondering what the contours are and all of that, I've switched off the Google Earth side and now I'm using the Navionics boating app. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna go through and we're gonna look at all the different offshore hotspots that we've picked on Pickwick Lake. So a lot of these things are gonna be points, little humps, things like that. Anywhere where we're gonna get current breaks and things like that, we're gonna mark those types of things. And I'm sure there's a bunch of them on here that we missed as well. You know, obviously using a map, we're not going to be able to see everything, but we are trying to put you in really high percentage areas. So what we're going to do is we're going to start down here at the dam and we're going to work our way back up, kind of opposite of what we did when we started the Google Earth videos. We started up in Mississippi and Tennessee. Now we're going to start in Alabama and work our way back to Mississippi and Tennessee. And what we're going to do is we'll stay, we'll probably cover these parts that are close together. I guess we won't go, normally we would go on one bank line, go all the way up and then come back down. But since this is more of a river system, we'll just kind of cover it in chunks and see how far up we get. So obviously the first spot, you've got some offshore stuff up here. It's going to get pretty shallow up in here, but you get up here around Jackson Island, you got some pretty good stuff going on right in here. You can see there's a little point with lots of break right here. Look, it goes basically from land to 13 feet in no time. Someone's already put a marker there. You've also got a nice little point right here. So you're gonna get, that current coming this way. These are gonna be nice little places for them to hide and ambush things. You're also gonna notice right here, you see this little red mark. That usually typically means that there's rock there. We can go over and check that out with my finger. Yep, that is rock. So anywhere you get this rock and the current, those are money places to go look at. And you're gonna kind of see that as we go up in here and we get in this shallow area. Of course, it gets pretty shallow back in here. But if you look here, you've got these breaks, right? And these are really good places where you could set off a little bit and probably catch them just setting up on some of these little breaks that are in here. Some more rock going on in here. And another point over there, if I actually zoom into it, you'll see it a little bit better, but you can see the little point going on right in here. So let's keep going on and see what else we can find. As we come up here, we come across this, this bridge, obviously the Singing River Bridge. This is obviously just a great place to find fish. You've got a bridge, you've more than likely got these pillars, which is this gray stuff, and that is just going to be a money spot with current coming down there. That is gonna be a great bridge to fish around. You got a little offshore spot over there too you could set up and kind of work around that. Now, one thing we didn't mark here, but something that you may want to check out, especially in the summertime and things like that. Of course, you've got a lot of different cover and things you guys can fish here in different structure, but there appears to be a railroad track that goes right through here. You can see it all going through here, all the way down to that ramp. I would check that out. I would check that out, especially, it's not that deep out here. Looks like it's only 15, 16 foot deep, so it's not that deep. So that could have some potential for sure. People could have dropped brush piles on there. It could just be really good cover. It could be rock, could be old railroad bridges or something like that down there. There's no telling. I would definitely go check it out. All right, let's keep moving on up the river, see what else we can find. As we get up here, obviously the first thing is going to be another bridge. I guess I skipped this part. You've got a really nice point going on right in here. So you can either find them out on the front of this point, like hidden behind boulders and stuff like that, or they could be on the back side. If they can't find cover to hide in here, they'll get on the back side and use that point to their advantage as the bait moves past them. So really good offshore looking spot there. Now, if you look at this bridge right here, I think this is a bridge. Might just be a railroad bridge, but if you look at it, it's got little humps in these little areas, little high spots. And I don't know if those are high spots from the pillars or if there really is a bunch of little high spots going on around this bridge. But either way, Bridge is going to be money, pillars are going to be money, and especially look right here where if you find the creek channel, which this looks like it'd be the main river channel, or at least the center line of that river channel, that is typically going to be where most of your fish are going to relate to. They're going to relate to that channel, and then they're going to relate to the sides, and then of course they can be anywhere on these pillars, but most of the time they're on the pillars closest to the channels. All right, so we're going to keep moving up here, and I'm going to come up and we're going to go back all the way back up here through this canal and basically just take a look at a couple things up in here. I just wanted to show you. Obviously, you've got I think these are bridges. They look like bridges that are going over the water. So again, good spots. Anywhere you find the bridges and you can get some current, that's definitely going to help you. Here's another bridge there as well. Didn't see too much. You may want to check out these little pockets though. Sorry about that. These little pockets that you see right in here. They just allow enough to get a break from the current for them to set up on. And so, you know, I don't know how deep that is. It doesn't look like it's a very deep pocket at all, but you could find some setting up just right on the edges there. For sure. So let's keep moving down, see what else we found in there. I don't think we found too much in there. If you make this corner, obviously this point's going to be a good spot to fish right in here. There's also another fish attractor thing right there. I don't know what it says. We can take a look at it. 9-pound turd. I don't know what that means. Moving on up, there is a little break right in here. If you zoom in, not a break, sorry, a little point right here. If you zoom in, you'll notice it's got a nice little point going on right here. Nothing crazy. I don't know if I would even go all the way back in there to find them, but hey, just wanted to make sure you guys knew that was back there. Now let's get into some juicier stuff here. Here we've got the railroad tracks again, and you've got the pillars around that creek channel. You got this main point here. It looks like Patton Island. That is an awesome looking point. And then if you look here, just looking at the contours of the point itself, I mean, it just looks beautiful, and especially when you know that there's current in this area. They can come up here and feed, they can set up here and ambush bait, all kinds of good stuff. This is going to be a really good area, more than likely probably a community area on Pickwick. I've never actually fished Pickwick, but my guess would be that would be a very high percentage area and something that a lot of people are going to be attracted to. Now, if you look over here on the side though, this might not be a spot that as many people would look at, right? You're going to have a ton of fishing pressure right out here because it just sets up so beautiful. But over here, you've actually got a nice little like wall, real sharp point going on right in here. And you may be able to find some stuff over here. It's a little bit shallower, but the fact that you do have a little bit of a break there where they can hide behind it or use it to their advantage, you may find a few swimming over there when everybody else is spending their time over here. All right, let's keep going down now. I think we covered all those. Let me go over here and show you this spot. This looks pretty interesting. You know, a lot of times I'm going to point out the most obvious things on the lake, but every once in a while something will catch our attention. And this is just one spot. For whatever reason, it kind of caught my attention because I'm looking out here and I'm seeing 25 foot, and then immediately I see 17 foot. So, and then I see 19 foot. So you've got a little bit of a hump that comes up right here around 17 foot. And then it has a pretty significant break from 17 foot all the way down to 25 foot. 8-foot break, definitely something you might want to go check out and see. And that is a spot, you know, that's not as obvious as some of this other stuff that I'd be pointing out to you. Now we're going to come up here. This looks like the Harbor Marina, or sorry, Florence Harbor Marina. As you get up here, you're probably going to get some riprap around here in this area. But definitely fish around this point and take a look at this roadbed if that's what that is. It's kind of hard to tell. I don't remember the roadbeds looking like that, but if that is a roadbed, underwater roadbed, check it out. There could be debris and stuff around it. It could be a pretty good spot to look at, as well as this point. This point's got a really nice flat, and it's got a pretty good drop going right off of it. I'm surprised we didn't mark that one. This looks like it definitely has some good potential. I would fish this, or at least go scan around it, see if I see any activity in the area. This is a good spot for them to set up on. Okay, so let's keep looking. We're going to go on down. If you're wondering where I'm at, there's McFarland Park. Well, you guys saw the marina that I was at, so we're going to keep going down the river. And remember, we're looking for more offshore stuff, right? Stuff that we're not really beating the bank. We're setting up a little further offshore. You've got a nice little point here. These points can be really, really good because, like I said, if the river's flowing, it's just a perfect spot for them to get out of the current, but so close to the current that basically they could sit right here on the edge and just feed themselves with their mouth open. So it's just a perfect little spot for them. And then when you're back up in there, check out these other little miniature points that are in here where the backwaters kind of kick off to different creeks and things like that. Again, another little point that comes out here, you know, providing some sort of a break. And then moving down here a little bit further, I think it's the same type, though this one's actually different. This is where we found a little hump that was back here. So if you look at this one comes up, let's see, that marker's in my way. It comes up to 16 foot at the top and drops down to 21 foot. It also appears to have some type of a rock on it as well. So I would check this little area right in here. This looks like it has some pretty good potential. Definitely an offshore spot. You know, it's going to be hit or miss during certain times of the year, but that to me looks like a pretty good spot, especially if they've got that rock there. That's going to be really, really nice. All right, so let's keep moving down, see what else we can find. As we get down here, you're going to notice over here we're starting to see a whole lot of marks. And so we put a mark at the end of it right here. And of course, a couple of the other ones where we saw some humps and things, but you can see them all as it goes all the way down here. So you have this really long, basically just all kinds of rock that you can fish around, and it goes all the way down that bend. Let me show you how far it is. We marked a bunch of spots in there, but you can see it goes all the way down there. So I won't go over those since we just showed you. Let's skip over to this side and let's check out this little point right here. Again, another really good spot for them to ambush bait. You know, they got stuff just flowing right into them. They can find things to hide behind and just really do some damage with all of that bait coming their way. All of these things too that we talked about, the high spots, you can see some of this comes up out of the water, so you should be able to see that rock, but fishing around that area, it's gonna be a really good area to fish around for sure. Then you come down here, you've got another bridge, some pillars. Underneath that bridge though is actually a little hump. It's kind of hidden, but if you zoom in close enough, you can see it comes up to 14 foot and then drops off to about 20 foot. So check out the hump when you're fishing the bridge. Check out the hump. That says that that's a submerged bridge. So if it is a submerged bridge, definitely fish it. If it's a bridge that's above the water, fish the pillars. Pretty much either way, fish the bridge for sure. Okay, so let's keep moving on down and see what else we find in here. This gets pretty interesting. As you come down here, you find these little humps. So right in here, you've got a little hump. You've got a nice little spot right in here. Almost looks like a little island or something that comes up. So if you can get some good current, I don't know if you do since it's a back channel, but if you get some good current, that's good spots for them to set up at. You've also got this hump right here that kind of extends, you know, 11 foot to 21 foot. So good breaks going on right in here. You can see the different key spots that we kind of put for you. A nice little pinch point right there where it drops on both sides. Almost like a nice little ridge going on there. These are great offshore stuff. Here is here. Going on for a little bit further down. Excuse me. As we go on further down, we're going to see the different ridges as well. Just fishing around those ridges. Do a lot of scanning right in here and just see where they're setting up at. I could see them setting up in several different areas here. They just got a lot of good cover that they can go and ambush bait around and set around and get out of current and stuff like that. Another good spot here. And this spot back here also behind the island. Now the front sides of the islands typically are the best sides with the current flowing into them. A lot of people go to the back side because they think that's the spot where the fish will actually like use the whole island to block the current, but they really don't. They basically use the island as protection behind them, and then in front of them they get like a boulder or a rock or something like that and just hide behind that and then just let that current just flow to them. So the front sides are actually the higher percentage sides than the back sides are, but still you can catch fish in the back sides too, so don't skip them. Okay, so let's keep moving on. Let's see what else we find. Just shallow area back in here. I'd love to go up there and do some frogging and stuff like that. But you come out here, you've got a pretty good extended little point. I'm gonna call it a point, but extended little point that comes way out here. You got flooded timber. This could be a really good place to look at. You got shallow water close by, deep water close by, just a lot of good things going on in that area. And as we move further down, you'll notice here we've got these different channels that are back here. And in between them, you have these little canals. Well, in those canals are nice little pinch points, and you always want to fish around the points of those little canals. So maybe not just those two, but all of them. Just set out here and just fish the sides of them, right? So fish the side of them here, fish the side of them here. You'd be surprised at how many fish set up in those types of areas. Then we're going to come down here. You've also got this, well, obviously, you've got this nice, big, huge, shallow point that comes out. Really good point right here. Over here, you've got some pretty good break, but if you zoom in really closely, you're going to notice there's a little bitty point that's right there that sticks out just a little bit, and that is what would make that a higher percentage area to go look at. Plus, if you look at the contours, they get really tight right in that area and drop to 20 foot. So you're going to get a pretty good drop going on right there in that area. Okay, so now we've made the bend. Let me show you where we're at. We made that first bend. Now we're going to move on up the river, see what else we can find. Again, you've got your shallow flats that are in here. Getting off the edges of them, at the ends of them or at the fronts of them are going to be key areas. So right in there is going to be a good spot. You can kind of follow it here. Now, if you like ledge fishing and stuff like that too, you've got a massive ledge going on all the way through here that you could check out. It'd take you forever to scan it, but man, you've got a really, really good ledge there. Here's a spot we marked for you guys just because it was a little bit more obvious. You've got a little island there. It's something to kind of give you a general understanding of where you're at, and you're going to be right on that river channel, basically where that ledge is right there. And that ledge goes all the way down on both sides. Then as you get up here, if you're kind of scared to get out there in the main river channel, then, you know, come by here and find little things like this, like where the channel breaks a little bit right here. You've got a little submerged culvert you could fish. You're up at 8 foot, dropping down to about 19 foot. So you're not in the major one, but you're still over there. Also, just a couple other things to look at right in here. I don't know if this is like where it splits right in here, but this looks like a pretty decent little ridge that's going on right in this little area. But definitely over here by that point, and then fishing around that little ridge, see what's there. This says it's a rock bar, so fishing around that rock bar could have some potential as well. And you'll notice that pretty easily because you've got the pylons there. Then moving over here, this looks like a little offshoot of a river channel. You've got a nice little point that's right there, but if you follow it down, you'll notice right here we've got another submerged culvert that comes here where all these creeks kind of come together. That could be a good spot too. Really, the fish in these docks where this creek channel is swinging up against them, especially right in here, if I zoom down a little bit more, you're going to notice that creek channel swings up against those docks in there as well. I didn't really notice the docks as much last time, but you can definitely see that this creek channel over here, it really rubs against these docks a lot. You've got it all the way through here, through there, kind of pulls off of them, but then comes right back to them. Then it pulls off again, and then again, now you're right back into that creek channel again. So those docks, even though we don't have them marked, if you're watching the video, I'd say those docks are going to be high percentage docks, especially with that creek channel just coming really, really close to them. That makes them a lot more higher potential. Okay, so we talked about that submerge one. Anytime you find these break off creek channels where they come off, you're going to have a point somewhere right in there where that intersection is, and those are good spots to look as well. You definitely want to take a look at that stuff. Even on this side, I mean, you got flooded cover, but look at the ledge that you have out here. This is so awesome. Okay, so we're going to move on up. We got this bridge here as well. This may be another railroad track, but just really showing you, right here on the ridge is probably going to be your higher percentage area. Out here, obviously, around the river channel as well, you're going to want to take a look at that. But on both sides, right where this ridge is and this bridge kind of come together, those are really good areas to go look at, really high percentage areas to hopefully get you guys on some fish. So I'm going to zoom back up here, show you where I'm at now. I don't know if that's going to make any sense. I don't want to lose myself here, but I'm about right here in the middle of the lake if you're kind of looking at full perspective. So I'd say I'm maybe halfway, somewhere in there. We're going to go a little bit further today, probably another 5 or 6 minutes, and then we will call it a quits for today and come back for tomorrow. So let's keep moving up here, see what else we can find. We talked about that stuff. I don't think we talked about, or we did talk about that little island. That's where that shoot off was. Here's where the docks were that we talked about. That channel. Next time we got the bridge. We talked about the bridge and the breaks. Anytime you can find a bridge on this lake, you're going to be in a really, really good position to catch some fish for sure. Let's take a look at this. This looks pretty cool. It's kind of where the river channel kind of blows out right here a little bit and goes off into these other little chutes. But as you see these, you got these nice little humps and things. These are good spots to go look at. Even right here, we didn't mark them all, but you've got a couple of them out here. You've also got this area right in here. See these little high spots? All good spots to look at. And then right here, you've kind of got like this little secondary creek channel, and notice these rock piles that are right in here. I mean, just good spots. Even look right there. That looks juice too. I would spend some time scanning right in here. This looks like it has the potential to have some really good spots for you to be able to find some fish. And then let's go up here. We're at the, looks like we're at the Bluff Creek Light, if you're wondering where we are. Big old underwater island that's out here, underwater hump. That's gonna be a good one as well. Remember, front side's gonna be a key. Backside can be good too, but front side's always gonna be good. Like right in here too, getting off the edge of this, getting off the front edge of this, maybe right here on the side. Maybe they can use that to give them some cover. Just depends on how they're setting up. And then over here, you've kind of got the same thing. You've got a little hump that's right here, another hump that's right here with a nice big old drop right by it, right where the river channel is. And then over in here, I don't even know what's going on here, but it looks like something you want to fish. It looks like this river channel comes here and maybe breaks off into two different creek channels, or maybe you've got, or I guess it doesn't really break off. You got two different creek channels that come down here and meet the river channel. So you got one that's right here, and then the other one, it looks like is right in here. Actually got three, got another one in here, but it comes down here, swings around. There's a creek channel turn right there. It's a big creek channel turn right here. Plus you have an intersection. So you have two creeks plus the river channel all intersecting right there in that one spot. And that is why we marked it for you guys. All right, so let's go up and take a look at this next little section. Again, we're out here in the river channel. So if we're out here in the channel, just looking at the ends of these little high areas and the back sides, and then over on the sides, you can see here we just marked this whole thing because we want you to really scan all around that whole area and just see where they're setting up at. It might not specifically be right where we put you at. They could be up on top, they could be out on the sides, they could be up in the front, they could be back in the back. But this general area is definitely gonna be a good area to go look. And then we have the same type thing going on over here to our east side as well. Look at this little secondary creek that comes in here. You can see it makes a really big turn right here. That right there looks juicy. Next, another turn right in here. This looks good. You got a little hump that's hidden in here. You got really big turns, really big creek channel turns going on all through here. This spot right in here, I would do some serious scanning, just basically make a big square right here and just see where they're located, because I guarantee they're there somewhere. All right, let's go up and pick a couple more and we'll call it quits for today. This is gonna be the next little area. Same type thing that we were looking at here, where you have the creek channels coming in, but here you have looks like a single creek channel that comes down, really starts to make some hard turns right in here. You can see the contours get a little crazy, and then it makes its final little bend before it gets out here into the creek channel. So anywhere right in here, especially where you see those big breaks, that could have some potential as well. And then what we'll do is we will stop there. We're gonna start on this spot next time. I'm gonna change this icon so that way I remember where we ended last time, and we'll stop there. And next time we'll come back and we'll start on that waypoint and probably get this entire lake done, go on up, finish the Mississippi and the Tennessee side, and have Pickwick completely done. If you have not already, please go out and check out our website, simplisticfishing.com. We have all these waypoints plus the Google Earth waypoints. We take them all together, we put them on a card for you, and then allow you to import that into your graph as fishing waypoints. It will change the way you fish. It will make breaking down the lake so much easier, allowing you to pattern fish way quicker, knowing exactly where everything is. So go check it out, simplisticfishing.com. And until next time, guys, I hope you catch your PB. Take it easy.